I said it before, and I have said it. These people are very clever. That bread insertion there was just a clever trick. So that one day, in fact, I know they are checking the microphones now. They're waiting on their Land Cruisers. Because they will then come to wananchi and say, ni mukate tu. You want us to remove that one? We remove the bread, everything will be okay. You don't want tax on bread. And wananchi will say, hey. And the next thing they'll do, they remove the bread. But you see what is hidden in there is a whole 150 shillings per liter of cooking oil. So people who are eating chapati on the streets, people who are eating mandazi on the streets, people who are eating what they call chips muitu, that will be very expensive because cooking oil will be expensive. And even the bread itself will still become expensive because there's no bread without cooking oil. So these people are very clever. And what I have been always saying about this finance bill is very simple. At this stage, anybody who campaigns for it is a public enemy. Anybody who does not decampaign it is a public enemy. Anybody who will vote for it is a public enemy. Anybody who will abstain and refuse to vote is a public enemy. Anybody who on the day of voting, if by bad luck it passes, anybody we shall see smiling in that parliament and it passed is a public enemy. Anybody who will refuse to mourn and be unhappy because it has passed is a public enemy. And if we decide that we as wananchi will go on the streets because it has passed and they don't join us, those members of parliament will be public enemies. So we are watching you. Don't think that by abstaining you have run away from this. We are watching. Even the refusing to decampaign it itself is bad enough because wananchi don't want it. So we have to get there. But I also have to encourage Kenyans that all of us are planning to go home today and sleep, so that we wake up very early tomorrow morning. You know, the president wants to go to Italy and he needs money for the jet. So we have to work very hard tomorrow and the day after so that we raise enough money for the jet that he's going to use to Italy. You know, he just might decide to get the one for 200 million or the one that his friends usually give him 10 million for. So again, if he decides to use that one, we need to work very hard. Kenyans, can you stop being lazy? Wake up and go work very hard. Money is needed for the presidential jet and you have to do it because it is a very important trip. He's torn between Egypt and Italy, so he might do both somehow. And so for you Kenyans, yours is to work very hard because money is needed. And I've always asked Jeff, if you allow me, these friends who gave him 10 million, where were they when we needed money for pre-primary education? Where were they when we needed money for capitation for schools? Where were they when we needed money for the doctors and the on strike? Where were they when we needed money for our teachers? Where were these friends who gave 10 million when we needed money for even the nursing care in this country? I keep wondering, what kind of friends are these? I think it's the kind of friends who call you and buy you a beer, but they cannot buy you a packet of unga. You come and tell them, I'm hungry. They tell you, let's meet in the bar. And they tell you, pewa mpaka ulale kwa floor. But then you tell them, I need unga to take to my family. They tell you, no. These are the kind of friends that this country is having. And we have to start drawing a demarcation and saying, if you can give us, I don't know how much money for a jet to take us wherever, that's not what we need. We need the kind of friend who will come and say, we don't have money for school feeding program. And that is the priority for Kenyans.